A very pleasant good day, my beloved brothers and sisters. Once again, this is your Christian brother Eric Braxton speaking to you all from his beloved country, Trinidad and Tobago. Of course, the land of my nativity, the land of my birth, Trinidad and Tobago. Of course, this wonderful island country, of course, that is in the blue Caribbean Sea. Well, brothers and sisters, in this part 1 video, the title of this video, A Challenge from God to All Creative Beings. I know it might sound strange, brothers and sisters, because I, Eric Braxton, since I'm alive upon this earth, I haven't heard no man of God or no woman of God speak about this challenge concerning that God have thrown out to all creative beings. Yes, brothers and sisters, I haven't heard none of the famous evangelists, preachers, or teachers in the fivefold ministries, the past, the old-timers who have died and gone, and the new-timers who is around. Brothers, in modern and in ancient and in modern times, and also in our current generation, all the famous preachers like T.D. Jakes and many other preachers all over the world. Even the late Herbert W. Armstrong and the late Dr. Gene Scott, I never even heard them talk about that challenge that I, Eric Braxton, is going to speak about. You all might say, well, you mean to say all these brilliant, educated men who's had PhD and MA and university degree and come and had masters in Bible theology and divinity. And I don't even have none of these Bible degrees. It means to say, they didn't even talk about that, but I have Braxton that have none of these degrees like these guys, college guy and university guys who become men of God, and they never talk about that. And I going to talk about that? You mean this little Christian boy, this little Christian child, way down in Trinidad and Tobago, in this little island, Trinidad and Tobago, and these fellas come from the big metropolis country, was from the greatest industrial nations of the earth, like America, France, especially America. All these famous American preachers, and they never talk about that. That is exactly what I am saying, my dear friends. If you all doesn't believe it, it still remains the truth. I'm not saying they haven't talked about it in a different aspect, but how I'm going to explain it, I, Eric Braxton, haven't heard no one speak about it in a manner that I'm going to speak about it. If they have talked about it in a different aspect, well, I haven't heard they speak about that in that aspect as yet. Brothers and sisters. And if they have any audio recording where they talk about that in that different aspect, I haven't listened to it as yet. And if they have pen it and write it in any book, in the literatures, in the Christian literatures as yet, I, Eric Braxton, haven't read about it as yet. And if they have any video about it, where they have talked about it in that different aspect, I, Eric Braxton, haven't heard about it as yet, my dear friends. Now, what is this challenge that I, Eric Braxton, is going to speak about that? That you all will say, what is this little Christian boy, Eric Braxton, since I call myself that way because that is exactly what I am, what he is really coming up to, what he is really up to, what this little boy is up to. And what topic he is coming with, this strange topic telling us that God have thrown out a challenge to all creative beings. Well, brothers and sisters, in this first part video, I will just make mention of it, but look out for in part 2, where I will begin telling you about that challenge. But in this first part 1 video, I am then stating that there is a challenge God have sent out to all creative beings. Brothers, you think any of us could take up that challenge? I will show you all, brothers, in part 2 and beyond, part 3 go part 4, that none of us cannot take it up. We might believe when we have a knowledge of the challenge, we might believe we could take it up and be successful in taking up that challenge. But God will show us we will not be successful even when we take up that challenge. Oh yes, then you all are saying, what controversial topic I'm discussing? What am I really up to? Well, in part 2, part 3, and maybe if there's a part 4, you all will get the full details. Dear brothers and sisters who are fortunate to see this video on the internet and the World Wide Web on YouTube. So God has sent out that challenge to all creative beings. But I just want to mention that apply to the angels straight down to the ants, from the ants straight up to the angels, all creative beings. But unfortunately, the animals, they cannot take up that challenge. In other words, none of the animals can come before God and speak towards God and say, I will take up the challenge. So if none of the animals can do that, for the ants to the biggest land animal, which is the elephant, and the tallest land animal, which is the giraffe, and of course the biggest animal in the sea, which is a whale and the killer whales, then it boils down to two creative beings besides the animals. You know who is these two creative beings? Of course, all the angels that God created before mankind and before the universe, and now currently mankind. So it boils down to men and angels. In other words, the angels could go before God and say, we will take up the challenge. And any man or woman could go before God and say, we could take up the challenge. But even so, the angels come before God and say, I will take up the challenge. And any man or woman that born or come in this world go before God and say, I will take up the challenge. Or God will say, oh, you tend to take it up, Mr. Angels, and you, Mr. Man or woman, you tend to take it up. Well, let me see if you all will carry it out and fulfill it. So in part 2, we will go in fully into that aspect, brothers, and we will look at that challenge that God has sent out to all creative beings. Yes, my dear friends. Yes, my dear friends. This topic will be a very interesting topic. And at the end of this video, whether there be a part 2, a part 3, I want you all to download all, put it on all the flash drive and all the CDs. Print it. Distribute it, share it. Let others know about this part 1, part 2, part 3 video that I have titled, God have sent out a challenge to all creative beings. Let us see who is the angels who will be able to take it up and complete the challenge. And let us see if any human being who are created little lower than the angels are able to take up the challenge just as the angels and carry it out and fulfill it too. Let us see if any of them could bring it about. We will deal with that in part 2 and part 3. Part 3. Of course, it will have a part 2, but let us see if it have a part 3 and a part 4 concerning this matter that I'm about to discuss, brothers and sisters. Very long time I didn't want to discuss this topic, but I think now it is the most appropriate time for I to discuss this topic about that challenge that God have sent out to all creative beings. Let me remind you all before I come to the end of this video, this challenge that God have sent out to all creative beings it didn't start from today, no. This challenge started a few thousand years back. So this challenge running for a very long time. Yes, this challenge is running for a very long time. It's more than 4,000 years this challenge have been thrown out by the Creator God. It is running for a very long time, and it continues to run. Brothers and sisters, why is the procreation of human beings coming in the world? Well, the little children and them who born last night and today and tomorrow, when they grow up, they can take up the challenge if they want to. But let us see if they will take it up. Well, amongst all the angels, there's no procreation amongst them. So if God created 100 billion angels, it's 100 trillion angels or billion angels. Let us see if any of the angels and any of man, any boy and girl, in the past or present, are able to take up the challenge and complete the challenge. Well, brothers and sisters, I've come to the end of this video. Now may the grace of God be with you and with me and with the human family from this day forward forevermore. Shalom, peace. See you all in the next video soon. Bye bye, my friends.